What's going on, everybody? Peter Martin here, Open Studio Live. That was a little bit of that walk-in music. You know, when you go to a live gig, I got to remind you guys what a live gig is. So, you got somebody playing a little bit. I'm going to be doing that, and I'm going to be playing some more, and we have a very special guest. Thank you guys so much for being here. I'm just going to kind of warm things up a little bit as the room fills up, and as you guys get settled in. I hope your week is going well. I hope your Wednesday. Is this Wednesday? We got to remind ourselves what day it is, but I think it's Wednesday. And this is the third duo concert that I've done during this pause period. We're doing duos from afar, as we say, and I'm super excited about my very special guest tonight who's going to join me in just a moment. And the first time I did this, I guess, was about 6-7 weeks ago with Fred Hirsch, which was an amazing experience. It was really my first time musically meeting him, and we had a good time. And then Mark Whitfield a couple of weeks ago. So tonight I think it's going to be very special because this gentleman is one of my favorite. I used to say he was one of my favorite. Actually, in private, I used to say he was my favorite of the young pianists. But he's truly one of my favorite, and he's in a group of very small group of young pianists on the New York scene, the international scene, that's just been blowing up things for the last few years, and I'm so proud of him. But I also realize, he's not that young anymore, like all of us. But he's seasoned beyond his years, and he's just an exciting player. He's a funny guy. He's a smart guy. He's a witty guy. I've had the chance to hang with him, and I'm actually on a group text with him. He's always got funny stuff to say there. And before I bring him on, just want to say, if you'd like to support things, now I know you might want to hear a couple tunes, so no problem. You can wait a minute, see how you like things. But if you'd like to support things tonight, go to openstudio.live, and you can buy a virtual ticket. And it'll also goes to supporting the artist you're hearing tonight, and it also goes to supporting a very special nonprofit called Don't Miss a Beat that we're going to tell you about, that's run by a very dear friend of both Christian and myself. And so this gentleman, like I told you, he's an amazing musician out of Connecticut. He's played with everybody on the scene. Let's just bring him on and talk to him. This is Mr. Christian Sands.
Yo.
What's up, Christian?
What's up, man? It's good to see you,
How you
Peter.
doing?
I'm good. Can't complain.
You're looking good there, right by your piano, and I want to hear about the instrument. We can talk about it later, whatever. Because I know I saw some picture on Instagram of you moving that Steinway into your house or something. What's going on with that?
This is a new piano. I recently came across a really great deal on this piano. So this is a Steinway B, and I am absolutely in love with it. It's getting used to the sound is different than what I had before, but I love it. I absolutely love it. It's coming into its own, so I'm excited about it.
Well, it's great, man. Well, I'm looking forward to hearing you get used to it and showing it off tonight and all that stuff. So I'd like to invite you. I got in a little trouble the last couple times I did this because I started playing first, which I thought was what being a good host is. But it turns out people if you're a good host, you got to let the guest play first. So I'm going to leave it in your very capable hands, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Christian Sands.
Thank you, sir.
I'm clapping for everybody. I'm clapping for everybody. Yeah, man. Thank you for starting things off on such a beautiful note.
Thank
Why don't you tell the folks about that composition?
So that's a composition written during the time of quarantine, and that's called Joy. I think there's been a lot of things going on lately, and we have to be conscious. We have to love one another, and so we have to remind each other that it takes joy to overcome things and to come together. So that's what that song's all about.
Oh, great stuff. Great stuff. Thank you, man. That was beautiful, man. Just hearing the power of that new instrument. I think it's suiting you well. I think you guys
Yeah,
have become friends.
it's a little strong.
I think you're becoming fast friends. That's great.
Right.
Man, I don't know about you, but this has been like the longest period I've played on one piano ever. I
Yeah.
think, you know,
Yeah.
how has that been for you?
It's been wonderful, man. You know, I mean, especially because now this is a new piano. I've had this for maybe 2 months now. And, you know, I'm finding new things about it. I mean, as you know, just being a pianist, there's different things you learn about each instrument. Unfortunately, we don't get to keep our instruments and go on the road and play the same piano every night, you know, so it's always something new to find out. But with this, I'm loving every minute of it. It's darker. It does different things. You know, it has a certain color to it that I am really exploring and checking out. You know, like it has a different temperament to it, which I like. So
No, it sounds great. Yeah, I've been thinking that, you know, for me, I've always, I love playing different instruments, and you know, like you alluded to, we're always playing on different instruments, and so it's almost like you can't get too attached
right,
to anyone, even your own, because then you know, that's, I mean, we practice
Exactly.
on our pianos, but up until now, this hasn't been our most performing on instruments. It's like you're
Right.
going out,
right.
and now it's like this is what we got, so let's do it.
Exactly. And this is more like, you know, like I always make these metaphors. This is more like a heavyweight bag for me. You know, so this is my training piano, my heavyweight training piano. And, you know, some days it kicks my butt. You know, I got to muscle it a little bit, but you know, it's a good workout.
Cool. Well, thanks for sharing that new composition, man. It's beautiful, and it's
I
like,
appreciate it.
you know, it's almost got a little bit of an epic type of vibe, which I love, and I love hearing that on solo piano because I feel like that's something that we're losing sometimes, and it's,
Yeah.
you know, it almost reminded me of like some kind of Keith Jarrett Facing You, where it's like
Oh,
you
yeah.
go on a whole journey in one track, you know, which
Yeah,
is,
yeah,
I mean, that's what these instruments can do. So thank you.
yeah.
I'm thinking I might play a little. I was thinking about doing this ballad that I used to play a lot, and I haven't done it in a while, but I love it. It's speaking of Keith Jarrett. I think I first heard him play it, "Never Let Me Go," and so I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to bring you back. So be thinking about what you want to do. Thank you. It's a lot of pressure to clap for each other. Normally we're on the side of the stage. We're like, give a couple, but
Right.
when we're representing everybody, man.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, man. That was beautiful.
All right. So, what you feeling next?
Man, you want me to play next? I can play something.
Yeah. Why don't you do something?
Yeah.
And then we'll chat a little bit after. How about
That
that?
sounds good. That sounds good to me.
Cool. Beautiful, beautiful.
Thank you.
Yeah, man, what a great arrangement.
Thank you.
Body and soul.
Thank you. Thank you.
That's what I'm talking about. Actually, I had a little chance. I got it. I got
You
the
got
vamp
it.
part for sure.
You got
I think
it.
I'm gonna write a tune based on that. It's so hip.
Come on.
Nice. That's great. Great.
Yeah, man.
So, I was thinking about, normally we'd be talking about like what's your what tour do you have coming up? I know you have a new record coming out soon though on Mack Avenue. Is that still slated to happen?
It actually just came out.
Oh, it just came out?
Yeah, it's been I think 3 weeks. 3 weeks now.
Okay.
Something
This
like
is the Be Water.
Yes, it is. This is Be Water.
See, I didn't know if it came out because I've been checking my mail from you. I think you know what? It's part of that. It's part of that postal delay, between you guys and Mack Avenue.
It's on its way. The vinyl's coming with you too. We're
Oh,
sending
good.
it. It's still there.
Yeah, I'm
Just
straight
check my
vinyl,
track.
so it's got to be vinyl. It's got to
There
be
you go.
vinyl.
There you go.
Well, that's great. Well, I know it's going to be great. I look forward to hearing it. And, Facing Dragons, that's like one of my favorite records. You came on the
thank you.
podcast a few months ago, or however long it was. I don't even know now. I guess end of last year.
Yeah.
But I'd been listening to it a bunch. It was so fun to talk with you about it. I think that's one of the strongest albums that's come out in quite a few years. So I'm excited to hear your new one. And, if you guys haven't had a chance to check, oh, there you go. Be Water. Look, everyone's got it but me. They got it on the stream. Look, where you at? I'm over here. Tell us about the title. How did the title come about?
Well, I mean, Be Water is really inspired by multiple sources. The biggest is my biggest inspiration, who is none other than the great and legendary Bruce Lee. I grew up watching all of his films and also doing martial arts when I was a kid. So the concept of Be Water, he has a quote that I use in the record: being like water, being as flexible like water, being able to adapt to situations quickly and easily. That's something that you want to be able to do in martial arts, but also at the same time, I feel like it's a great way to adapt to music. We're all, especially as jazz musicians, we're always in a different position. We're always in a different band, or we're playing with different music. It's a lot can happen on the bandstand. So you want to be flexible and you want to be able to react. That's the biggest thing about playing this music is that, if you don't react, then you're doing something wrong, unless it's absolutely like you really don't want to, it's a choice that you've made. But this is a reactionary type of music, and it's something that struck a chord for me, and I absolutely live my life by that. This is something that I wanted to bring more of my personal touch, and really I feel like this record is more me. I've done many records over the years, and this one I feel like is finally myself really coming out through here.
Well, I'm looking forward to it. I would just tell everybody that check in on Christian's records, because you might be like, a lot of times folks are like, oh, I'm gonna wait till he gets a little older and then check out his record. He can play, but I don't know about putting together a record. But like you say, you've done quite a few records, and you have like a really strong concept that comes through on your recordings.
Thank you.
That belies your years. Plus, you're not that young anymore, like I said before. Anyway, but no, but I think it's I think because you put in that work of and I know how hard it is to, especially nowadays, to get a record out there. You're doing it because you love doing it. You're not doing it for the financial gain. So it's
exactly. This is I love just telling my story, and also the fan story, the people's story. This is what it's all about. I always say that as a musician, I'm a storyteller first. I have to tell stories. I have to tell my story. I have to tell my people's story. I have to tell the story of our ancestors. That's what we do through the music. So.
Right. Well, I know, and you've always had, you've always been very, politically aware through your music and through the sounds and through your titles, rebel music. I love that. And, you're addressing things, not only when it's fashionable, but before it's fashionable. So I commend you for that. And, always looking forward to the next things to come. I think, our original connection, I had been hearing about you, but I've been hearing about, quite a few different young pianists. You're always hearing about guys coming up, which is so exciting for me in this music. You know, to see the next generations and the young cats always coming up, and the bond that we all have through the music. You know, I mean, it's like I remember when I met Hank Jones when I first went on the road with Betty Carter, and I'm just like, you know, I want to get down and just bow to him, and he's treating me like almost like some sort of peer or something. I was like, what? You know, he's talking to me like a fellow musician.
Yeah.
So that's, you know, it's an amazing thing. But I remember when Christian McBride, you know, first mentioned you, I really perked up because Christian, you know, he knows everybody. He knows the young cats, the old cats, the middle-aged cats, everything. But he spoke your name and spoke very highly of you, and so that was kind of my first real. I was like, okay, I'm gonna make a little note of this cat, Christian Sands. Then he was like, he's from Connecticut. I was like, ugh, ooh, that's a tough one. All right, I gotta balance the two, you know. See, but I think that we've had a fun bond in playing with Christian in different situations over the last 10 years now, I guess.
Yes.
At different times, and I know you came in and subbed for me with Inside Straight on one of the first things, and Christian called and was like, yo, man, you know, I know you're always busy doing our stuff. We're good. I mean, like, you know, I was like, wait, what do you mean? And he's like, yeah, Christian Sands came in and killed it. And then I think you really came to a lot of people's, you know, notice on sort of the bigger stage with the trio with you, with Christian McBride and Ulysses Owens, which really became kind of a modern, you know, I mean, I hate to even make the comparison, but really like an Oscar Peterson trio kind of situation. You guys gigged a whole lot and had an incredible cohesive trio sound. And I mean, what did that experience do just in terms of setting you up for where you are now?
Oh man, it was incredible. You know, Christian McBride was the first person I ever went to Europe with. You know, so you know, as a musician, also in college too, because I was in college too. I think it was my senior or junior year, maybe one of the two. But I was a junior or a senior in Manhattan School of Music, and getting the opportunity to go on the road by itself is you know, is an accomplishment. It's something that you have to be proud of. It's something that's hard to do. A lot of people don't talk about the wear and tear that the road has on you, especially for somebody young. When you're like, you know, you're ready to go. You're like, okay, cool. What time is you know, sound check? All right, 4:00. Cool. What time's the gig? All right, 7 or 8. Cool. How many sets? All right, 2. What time is lobby call? 3 a.m. Yeah. You know,
like all on the same day?
Right, in the same day. So when we travel, right? So we're you know, we're going from New York to, I think our first gig, what we did with Ulysses, it was to Eilat, Israel, I think. Right. So the first day, and we had to play when we get there too. So this was my first time out of the country and going to Israel. So, you know, I had to hit my passport. Like, you know, I've used my passport to go to like the Bahamas or so, but that was about it with my parents. But up until that point, I haven't really gone that far, you know. And so going with McBride, it was like, okay, so we're leaving. We got to get in the plane. We're leaving. And we got a three-week tour, and it's just about all one-nighters, right? And we're playing in Eilat for 2 nights or so, something like that. And we have to play when we get there. You know, I'm like, all right, cool. So you take that long flight. I can't remember how many hours that it was, a direct flight. And so that's the longest I've been on an airplane. And then you get off, and then you're like, okay, let me get to my room and go to sleep, right? And you get to the hotel, and the rooms aren't ready, right? You know exactly how this is, Peter. So the rooms aren't ready.
You're getting in like mid-morning,
right? And it's like
check-in time is like 1 o'clock, 3 o'clock.
Exactly. Now you have like 5 hours, and then you sound check. You have to leave for sound check. So you have to leave like 3. So by the time you get to your room, it's 1 o'clock. You get like 2 hours of sleep in there. Then you go to the gig, right? So as somebody's, you know, super young, you're like, man. I mean, I'm excited about playing, so that's kind of kicking in. That's that adrenaline is kicking in.
Yeah.
But you know, you're missing cues. You're missing like you just are just crapping the bed on it. But you know, it was a learning experience because it was something that gave me I call it the road legs. You know, it gave you the longevity. It gave me the sense of like, this is something that you do for a long time, especially, you know, like going out onto the on the road. And and going to festivals, you start seeing the older cats. You start seeing the Hank Joneses. You start seeing them on the road, and they've been doing this for 40 years, 50 years, or longer, So you start talking to them, and especially as pianists, one of the wonderful things I like about being a pianist is that we always try to look out for each other. We always try to, we're always keeping our ear out for one another, and we're talking about each other like, hey, man, so and so or so and so. Like, oh, man, yeah, I checked out that gig. Man, you sound killing. Next time you play that tune, maybe try this type of chord instead. Like there's different things about being young and having all these musicians that are just welcoming and just kind of like trying to help you along your way. So that's one of the biggest things that I took away from just those early tours with Christian and Ulysses.
Oh, it's great. Yeah, and I think, a lot of times, and I look back and I'm like, yeah, it's like when you're young, you have all the energy and, you're skinny and you're fresh on the scene. But the thing is, you don't know what the hell's about to happen. No. And that takes that saps you of energy,
It does. It really does. Because I was somebody who went to bed late, like I was just always energetic. I mean, I'm always cool. Like I'm a very chill person. I mean, you know me, I'm very like relaxed. My mom always said if I was more relaxed, I might be dead. Because I'm just so like laid back. But like I can turn it on. We can have fun. Like let's go out. I used to always make Ulysses go dancing with me because it was like, hey, let's go to a dance club. I'm young, so hey, let's go out. Let's go. Let's go check the girls out. Let's go. We're in so and so. We're in Israel. We're in Hope. So let's do that. And he's like, hey man, we still have a 4 a.m. lobby call tomorrow. Remember that. So it was a lot of getting used to things.
Ulysses was like an old man when he was 14. I think, pretty much.
Shout out to Ulysses.
I mean, I met Christian when he was 15 years old, and I was 16, and he was like, just like he's now. He's like, "What's up, little brother?" Like treating me like he's my dad. I'm like, "Hey, daddy." I'm like, "Wait, I'm older than you."
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
he wasn't that different.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, speaking of Ulysses, I just want to give a quick plug for his Don't Miss a Beat nonprofit foundation. I don't know if you've ever done anything down there, Christian, in Jacksonville with him, but I had a pleasure of stepping in for a minute when I was last down there and seeing the stuff he's doing with the kids and his family. It's really amazing stuff, and we're excited all week with all of our lives. We're highlighting and giving 20% of all the virtual ticket sales are going directly there. And they're a young, small startup nonprofit, but they're doing great things. So we're really excited to just do a little thing for them.
Absolutely.
And then what was the other thing I was going to ask you about? Oh, no, I was just going to say, you said going, on the road with Christian for the first time. I remember when I first went out with Betty Carter. Well, even before that, Betty Carter was good because she was like, seasoned, and she didn't. I have the feeling Christian probably was not like, he was more like, just follow me. He probably wasn't telling you a lot of stuff like, make sure you get some rest so you can, because he's so
not at all.
Yeah. But like Betty was like, she went into full mom mode with all of us.
Yeah.
And we were all, it was Greg Hutchinson and Dwayne Burno. And, she was just like, I can't believe y'all. Why are y'all tired? I'm older than all three of you guys combined.
Yeah.
You better not be yawning at the airport this morning. And, but that's when I realized, I was like, okay, she's done this before. Let me try to pick her brain. Let me just actually watch how she does all this and how she's been able to survive, not only survive, but thrive all this time as a woman, as an African-American woman, starting her own label and doing all this stuff.
Yes.
I mean, it was really inspiring. I was just, young and dumb, but I did sort of pay attention, and I think our elders in the music, have given us a lot. It's funny to think about Christian as that, but I mean, he's a great role model, and I think that trio, what he did with you guys, was super exciting. I hope for a reunion someday.
Knock on wood and
yeah. I know, right. Well, I guess let's play some more music. Is it my turn again? Yeah. You did that beautiful Body and Soul, man. That was so cool.
Thank you.
I love reimagining. I always say we can just play these tunes or try to play it like Hank Jones or Oscar Peterson or whatever, but it's never going to be like them. And I feel like it's up to us to do our own thing on it.
Yeah, man.
Because that we can do. So thank you for that. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a little Little Boy Man, which is a tune written by James Black out of New Orleans. It's kind of an unusual, well, it's not really an unusual tune. It's just not that well known. But James Black was a fantastic drummer and composer, and kind of thinking about the whole Gulf Coast region right now as these hurricanes are bearing down on them. So this is, we're going to put some positive energy out to keep everybody safe down there and everywhere. This is Little Boy Man, James Black. Thank you. It feels good to get to hear some applause. You know,
Yeah.
we'll take whatever we can get right now. Live applause.
That's
We're
right.
gonna have to get used to that again. So, what you got? You want to jump right into something?
Man,
What you feeling?
I like that. We can just jam on that, man. I'm down.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
All right.
You want to start? We'll go back and forth.
I'll start. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yes.
Little East Coast Midwest collab. You know how we
That's
do
right.
it?
That's right.
That was fun. That was fun.
Yeah, man.
Jacob Collier, who? We can do that too. You know what I'm saying? Oh man, that's great. That's great. Good stuff.
Yeah, man.
So I was just thinking maybe we'll both do kind of one more quick one. I'd love for you to take us out. Maybe I'll do a fast. It's Charlie Parker's 100th birthday in a couple
That's right.
days, and I was thinking, I was like, man, that's he would be old right now, but he died really young. I just turned 50 a couple days ago, so I was like,
Oh man.
if he had, if he was my age, 50 now, when I was born in 1970, that kind of brings it into perspective. It's like, it wasn't that long ago he was around. So Charlie Parker was such a massive force for everybody who's come after him. I mean, in jazz music and improvised music and everything beyond. So I was thinking about doing Au Prévave, and I'm hoping that's by Charlie Parker. It's like Charlie Parker had so many tunes that were like things that he just improvised on the session over some change, and then they became tunes.
Right.
And then he had his own tunes that other people took the name, took the rights to it and everything.
That's
But I'm
right.
pretty sure this is his. So I was going to do that, and then maybe bring you back on, and you'll do one to take us out. How's that sound?
Yeah, that sounds good to me.
All right, that's how we'll do this Wednesday night. This is Au Prévave, Charlie Parker.
Come on.
Come on, couldn't get out of here without playing a little
Oh,
Charlie
come
Parker.
on.
It's 100. It's
That's
100.
right. That's right. That's right.
So I just want to thank you, Christian, so much for joining me, man. This is so much fun, man. I'm so inspired. It's always great to see you, to talk with you, to play music, to even get to trade some choruses on just some total improv. That was so cool, man.
Definitely, man.
I loved it. I love the. I was gonna say I love your arrangement on Body and Soul, but because I'm officially stealing it, we're gonna call it our arrangement. You know what I mean?
That's right. The open studio arrangement of Body and Soul.
No, it's great stuff. And the new record is Be Water. Be Water. I'm going to be looking in my mailbox. If I don't see it soon, I'm going to be hitting Spotify. And then there you go. Be Water. So pick that up. And, it's a pandemic, so we got time to like really, I've been enjoying so much just listening to complete albums, so I would recommend that to everybody. Take your time, savor it, take this little pause time to really dig into the music. But Christian, I wish you all the best. I know I'm going to see you in person soon, maybe next year, maybe later this year, whenever whenever it's
whenever.
safe. And
Just wear your mask. That's all I'm saying.
you know what I'm saying? Wear the mask. Even after there's a vaccine, I'm going to be
Just wear
like,
a
well, you know
mask.
what I've noticed? I've been seeing all these people around St. Louis. And, you know, there's a lot of people that the mask is beyond just safety. Like, a lot of people look better in a mask. That's, you know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to say there's some ugly people walking around. But
You
some
said
people
it.
in
I
a
mean,
mask.
somebody got really nice eyes out here.
Exactly. You got to highlight highlight your features. But thank you, Christian. Ladies and gentlemen,
man.
this is Christian Sands. He's going to take us on out of here. Thank you guys for joining us.
Thank you.
And we'll see you next time. Take it away, Christian.